It is the Riot Podcast, a Tuesday, September 26th edition. Great show coming up here for you. Talking about a potential reboot of a classic TV show, how you could pay $500 to Tinder and what that would actually give you, and a whole lot more. But first, Isaiah, I have a trip coming up. I leave on Friday morning. Going to Florida. Got our flights booked, our hotel booked. We're all set to go. And I was wondering, when you have a flight, do you prefer the aisle, the window, the middle seat? Which one do you go for?
I don't really care if I'm on the aisle or the window, but I want one of those two.
Yeah, nobody wants the middle, right?
Nobody wants the middle.
I believe that I'm going to be stuck in the middle seat for these flights, because my wife got to choose the seats, and she assigned me to the middle and her to the window she chose.
That works fine, though.
I think I prefer the window. Definitely over the middle, clearly. But I think I prefer the window over the aisle, although I don't know if I have strong opinions. But I don't think she's going to switch with me now.
I would probably say she's not going to.
Yeah, since she did pick them out and assign them specifically to us the very same way every single flight, all four of them. But I was thinking about this. We're a couple. We want to sit together, right? Sit next to each other. Is there a world where you could go on a trip with your significant other and you book your seats and you book both aisle seats? Then you're sitting next to each other, but neither one of you has to be in the dreaded middle?
I wouldn't do that on purpose if I got to choose.
You wouldn't do that?
No, I would rather have the middle seat in the window. Because then if she's laying against the window, I'm laying against her.
True.
I'm leaned up.
If you both sit on the aisle, then that means you both probably have to sit next to strangers, which is one of the
And you're sleeping straight back.
Yeah. If you're sleeping, I don't know if I'll sleep.
If you'll sleep on the plane?
Yeah.
What are you going to do the whole time?
It's not that long of a flight.
I know, but usually when you get on a plane, you just automatically sleep.
Well, I don't know. It's not like it's early morning, so I'll probably just pop on. I got podcasts and shows to catch up on, baby.
Well, that doesn't matter where you sit then. You sit wherever you want.
Well, you know that that the middle is much more uncomfortable for just being able to relax. It doesn't matter if you sleep, you want to be able to relax, right?
Yeah.
I guess the window is the most relaxing seat. I think I prefer it, but I just know the middle is definitely the worst. So
middle's by far the worst. It's obvious.
Your significant other both have aisle seats, you're still next to each other, and then neither of you have to sit in the worst seat.
Yeah, but then you can't really talk either. I mean, it just depends on what kind of trip you want.
How much talking do you do?
If you want to sleep, well, if you're not sleeping, you think you're doing something. If you're not sleeping, then it wouldn't be as bad to both sit aisle because you don't have to plan on sleeping. If you're planning on watching a movie together, you shouldn't both sit aisle.
Yeah.
If you plan on talking to your significant other, no aisle.
I mean,
but if you plan on just doing like a movie by yourself, then you both just sit in the aisle seat.
Yeah, because then you have freedom to move if you need to.
As long as you don't plan on talking or sleeping.
Yeah.
If you're just going to watch a movie.
You can still talk. Why can't you talk across the aisle?
It's too loud in there.
Oh, okay.
It's loud. Like the plane's a lot louder than we realize, I think. And your ears are all messed up too.
They're all popped.
So it's really hard to talk in there unless you're right next to each other.
I think... Which is why that...
And it's a little farther away than I think we remember, too.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. The aisles just keep getting skinnier and skinnier.
Yeah, true.
Or maybe I'm getting fatter and fatter. I think, I don't know, maybe my wife will think differently about this, but I don't think... We're about to go on a whole vacation. We're spending 4 entire days together. So if we take a couple hours on the plane and just not talk, I think that's okay. Where we both catch up on podcasts and shows. I think she'd be okay with that.
Probably.
I believe she'll probably do the same thing.
Sounds like a fun start to your vacation.
Yeah, that's right.
Real romantic like. I like your style. You know, why don't we just spend the first couple hours just not speaking? Because I know the next 4 days we're going to be talking.
We'll talk nonstop. If we're not, there's not going to be...
Which is different from your guys' day-to-day life so much.
It's not going to be nothing left unsaid.
So you guys don't hang out every day anyway.
At the hotel and... whatever, all the gallivanting we do. I don't know, just a thought. I was trying to be solutions oriented. I didn't propose that to her because it's too late now, but I just thought that was I'm trying to be a solutions oriented guy.
Yeah. Also, the other thing I like about I'm a sleeper on the plane. I always sleep.
Yeah.
So I like to be able to have, if I'm with somebody, I like to have them right next to me. That way I can sleep. But
yeah, you don't have to worry about falling asleep on a stranger who may be uncomfortable with that.
And the other thing,
or
too,
vice
is
versa.
The last couple times I've flown, me and friends have gone together, and we've sat separate.
And how was that?
It sucked. We were both, me and my roommate when we went to Las Vegas last summer. A couple other times we've traveled, we've both just taken the cheapest seats, which is always the middle seat.
Yeah.
So we both just sit back-to-back aisles, middle seat. So he's sitting right behind me. And let me tell you, that sucks. But it's the cheapest ticket.
I think
which is what I'm about.
Saving money more than I hate sitting in the middle seat.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I get you on that.
The flight there wasn't that bad. The flight back really stunk.
Yeah. You can chime in with your thoughts. Let us know by texting in at 8772-RadioU or hitting up the comments. Got a great podcast here for you, so enjoy, and we'll catch you next time.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Got a new harmful dating trend here for you. It's called orbiting. You have any idea what that's about?
Not sure.
Well, have you ever heard of the gum?
I have heard of Orbit.
Has nothing to do with that.
It's pretty good.
But have you heard of the travel company, Orbitz?
Their logo yellow?
No.
That's hurts.
So you haven't? Yes. Yeah. No, Orbitz is like Expedia Priceline. It also has nothing to do with that. Orbiting is a dating trend where it revolves around a breakup. If you've recently gone through a breakup and you're not quite ready to give up on that person, you don't quite ready to live a life without them, orbiting is where you continue to check in on their social media pretty much daily. You keep on checking in, seeing what they ate for breakfast, where they hung out over the weekend, all that. Just seeing what they're doing constantly. And doing that supposedly gives you a false sense of comfort and feel like they're still kind of on your radar. You're still orbiting around them, but it's not healthy.
You know, back in the day, they used to call this not moving on.
Yeah, but that's not as fun as orbiting.
It was a lot more straightforward, though.
Yeah.
It made a lot more sense when you said somebody.
Some people...
Oh, you're orbiting. I get it.
This is the type of thing that when they make like a bad show for Freeform or something in a couple of years, they'll be like, oh, you're still orbiting Jeff. You just need to move on.
That is true.
But I mean, it's been coined by several social media influencers at the time. Now, you might think, I can see the idea, because you even said before, you're a big proponent of not unfollowing, continuing to follow on socials after a breakup.
If you can handle it, I think it's fine.
But so some people might say, why is this harmful if I still want to check in? If I still want to orbit Jeff for a little while, what's the big deal? What's the big harm? But it's just that you are not mentally moving on. It's actually making you feel better, but supposedly in a harmful way, because seeing what they're doing could possibly increase your oxytocin levels, the happiness hormones in you. And so it's making you happier, but
I feel like that would decrease your happiness.
You would think, especially if they move on and start doing a bunch of fun stuff without you.
They always do. They always do.
Isn't that how it always works out?
No, they always do.
I don't think there's a lot of orbiters that are orbiting after they initiated the breakup. So this is...
Oh, people still do that.
You think they orbit?
Yes.
And so you think it rises your...
I don't think just because you're the one who broke up with somebody doesn't mean you're like, okay, hands free.
Yeah.
Clean my hands off now. I'm good to go. I feel like usually you still care unless you were really over the relationship.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
It's tough to do. Experts are saying that of course this is harmful, and I'm not just saying me, but like actual experts saying that you should not continue on with the orbiting. It's just healthier to just completely move on.
But hard to do.
It's hard to do. So can you kind of have one of those orbits where sometimes you get really close and then it's like an oval shape, an ellipsis, where sometimes you're close, you move in, you check in the social media a couple times, and then you back up the orbit. You get really far away. You unfollow them or you hide them or mute them or whatever you need to do. Maybe that's the best way. And then maybe you realize maybe you just fly right out of orbit and move on to orbiting something else completely. Or maybe you become the center.
I don't like this whole orbit thing.
And
This is going on too long.
This analogy doesn't
Have you
work
moved
for you.
on or not?
Yeah. I think it's maybe it's for our space heads out there. Maybe this is finally getting through to them. Maybe they're struggling with relationships.
They didn't get the whole hanging around thing.
Yeah, but then they're like, yeah, that's right.
You know
Just
what
like
orbiting
Comet
does make
26A.
Makes so much sense. I am circling her. Yeah. No wonder she doesn't want me back. It's because I've never moved more than 10 feet away from her.
Who's the sun here? Who's the sun?
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
The news taking the internet by storm yesterday is that The Office looks like it could be getting a reboot. As soon as the report says here that as soon as the writers' strike is officially ended, they reached a tentative deal. But once that deal is ratified, it will be officially announced that a reboot of The Office is in development. First reaction.
I like The Office.
You like The Office?
I'm a fan.
So you like this idea?
I like more of The Office.
What you want is more Office. And I'll tell you that although we don't know many details at this point because it is in the very early stages, the one thing that is known is that Greg Daniels will be back. Greg Daniels was the showrunner for The Office when it got started here on American TV for the first several seasons. So he is the man behind it all in some ways, and he will be back. Will any of the cast be back to reprise their roles, or is this going to be a completely clean slate? That is not known. I feel like the actor who played Stanley, Leslie David Baker, is going to do everything he can to be a part of it because he was trying to launch a Kickstarter to make a Stanley spinoff. But I'll tell you, the reaction online is not as positive as your mild enthusiasm was. Most people are very against this, it seems.
Really?
Most people,
they think it's going to ruin it or what?
I guess some of the reactions I'm seeing here, someone says, yeah, because famously the problem with The Office was that it just wasn't long enough and there wasn't enough of it. I watched every episode of The Office. Some of the later seasons, not as great, not as consistently good, but still watchable, still pretty good. Someone else posted the thing from SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs is looking at Smitty Bourbon Jaegerman Jensen's grave. He says, am I really going to defile this grave for money?
See, my question is, too, how much of the cast is coming back? You know, That's the real kicker.
So do you want a bunch of the cast to be back in a continuation, or do you want a new version of The Office?
I want
more modern.
I'm okay with having some new, but I need some of the old.
Who do you want?
I mean, obviously,
let's start negotiating here.
I want John Krasinski.
Oh, I don't think he's doing it.
Well, then I'm out.
I think that's you have a better chance, a snowball's chance in heck of getting John Krasinski. Him and Steve Carell, I think, are the two absolute no's.
Well, Steve Carell wasn't even in the
yeah, he wasn't in several seasons.
In several seasons at the end last time anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah.
What about Rainn Wilson? Can I get Dwight back?
Possibly. I think what else has he got going on that's so important? He seems to still embrace it. Like John Krasinski has moved on. He doesn't want to be Jim anymore. He's doing other things. He's making A Quiet Place. He's married to Emily Blunt. He's got a different life now. He is
killing it in the acting game.
Mr. Fantastic or whatever from Fantastic Four. Gets his head shaved apart by Scarlet Witch.
I just don't want it to get ruined.
How could it ruin it?
Because if this comes out, it wouldn't like ruin the old stuff.
Yeah.
It would just be annoying.
So you just don't watch it. Do you need? Here's something crazy. I looked this up. Do you know how many versions of The Office there already are?
How many?
16.
16 versions.
There's 16.
So maybe we shouldn't do this because there's only one
There's
good one.
too many. Yeah. There's two. The UK version is good
The UK version
too.
is not good.
It is good.
It is not good.
And
widely known.
I
not
think
good.
what is one? That's a wild claim. I think you add one more. Some people will like it. Some people won't. I think better off starting from square zero or maybe having like one attachment to it. You know, like maybe it is Stanley. Maybe it's Kevin. One attachment. He's at a new office now. And oh no, this office also has a wild boss and crazy hijinks.
That's so annoying though, because it's the same. They can't use the same storyline with all new people. That's just silly.
Let's start new stories. Totally different. I think I'm open to it. If you've got the right people involved, and I don't necessarily mean the actors, it could still be funny. There's a reason they made 16, and that's because it's a universal concept that will never get old.
Yes, but only one of them was good.
You don't know that. They're all different languages.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Isaiah, how many high school dances do you think you went to in your day?
I can count them.
Okay.
One.
That's it, huh?
Two, no, you ever heard of someone count before?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Whoa.
I think I went to 6. I went to 6 dances, if I recall correctly.
You must have been having a good time.
It was some
The first
fun.
few, anyways.
I had fun at the dances.
You look back fondly on those memories. Do you have the pictures still?
I do, yes. They were
Yeah.
good. They were all good times.
Well, you can relive those good times now with Burger King's new homecoming meal. Did you go to the homecoming dance?
I did.
3 times, I'm guessing.
4.
4.
Every year, baby. I was
Yeah.
there. I was dancing.
Burger King has unveiled the new homecoming meal, which is a meal for 2, of course. $10. You could get 2 Whopper Jr. sandwiches, 2 milkshakes, small order of onion rings, small order of fries. So you can either mix and match or maybe sometimes opposites attract in a homecoming relationship. And also 2 Burger King crowns for the happy couple.
There you go.
Yeah, so you can feel like royalty whether you were voted homecoming king and queen or not. Did you get voted homecoming king?
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Wrong, I think. I went to a homecoming dance one time. I was
going to ask that. I was going to ask if you ever went to a dance.
I did. I did 2 dances. They weren't homeschool dances either, although that is a thing.
You go to those?
But I was too cool to do that, obviously.
How many homeschool dances did you go to? I want to know.
0.
0?
0. We did. I did this
Couldn't score a date.
One time. We did something that was much nicer, which was the banquet, the junior senior banquet. No dancing, because that was frowned upon. No, it was like we'd go to a nice restaurant.
Like Applebee's or something?
That's right. Bennigan's. And I did that, but that's not the same. There was homeschool dances. Obviously, didn't go to those, but I did date a gal who took me to her homecoming and her prom. And maybe it's because I didn't go to the school, but I don't look back fondly, particularly on the homecoming dance is pretty lame.
Did you dance?
Yeah, I danced.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Did she dance with you? Did she dance with you?
Yeah, of course.
I'm not just making sure. I didn't know if you got ditched to the dance. You said you didn't look back at it fondly,
No.
so I didn't know exactly what happened.
It's just kind of weird getting like drinks from like a high school cafeteria and then, like dancing in a gym. I think it was mermaid themed for some reason.
Odd,
Do you
very
remember your
odd.
homecoming themes?
I do not remember.
Not the themes.
I don't remember any of them.
I don't look back on it. Prom was okay. I don't, but I think it was in part because I didn't go to the school, so
You didn't know anybody.
I knew a few people, but they weren't like my friends. They were my girlfriend's friends, and so we were hanging out with them. Whatever. I went, made her happy.
I would die to be a fly on the wall in that room.
To see that.
I would die to see you in there. Nothing would make me happier. I
mean, I did draw a lot of attention.
I can imagine.
I had a lot of dance moves that I didn't have many opportunities to show off, and that was one of them.
See, I look back on my dances pretty fondly. All of them were pretty fun with all my friends. I don't remember going. I went out to eat because think about this whole Burger King thing.
Yeah.
For homecoming is a way like a lower deal, not as big of a deal. So you could go to Burger King.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a big deal. But prom, you would not go to Burger King.
No, that would be foolish.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, they don't have a Burger King prom meal.
No. But yeah, the homecoming memories, I look back fondly on many of them.
I'm glad one of us does.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Tinder has announced a new tier that you could pay for, a new subscription you can get on Tinder, but probably not you. Oh, not you because you're banned. Not me. I'm not on Tinder. But if you're part of Tinder's 1%, you get Tinder Select $4.99 per month. And you're thinking $4.99. No, $499 per month. This is for the real power users on Tinder.
If you're a part of the 1%.
Yeah.
See, and they make it sound like that's a good thing.
Like it's very exclusive.
It's not. When I first read this too.
Yeah.
It says Tinder says it only offers the plan to less than 1% of its users it considers extremely active. At first, I thought it said extremely attractive.
Yeah.
Which now there's something there.
Uh-huh.
Extremely
that would be
active.
offensive if they did that, though.
I don't think so.
I think it'd be offensive.
They literally have a page on there that's called like top picks. That's just supposed to be really attractive people. And you get to swipe just one time on those.
Ooh.
You get to pick one a day of the really cute ones. And you just send it out there and think maybe, just maybe, they'll match with me.
Because those people are getting so many swipes.
So many of them.
Yeah. Well.
For $500, you can be a part of the most desperate people on Tinder.
But listen, Isaiah, if you pay this $499 per month, you don't have to worry about swiping on those top picks at all. You can just message them because you don't have to match. You can message people without matching with them. That is the big draw of this idea.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I know. It sounds like a horrible idea.
That sounds like badgering. I feel like that's illegal. Is it not illegal?
It's not illegal. They're making it legal. They make the laws. You'll also be seen by, supposedly, I guess they say the most sought after users will see your profile if you're a Tinder Select user. So the top picks will see your profile and swipe no on it, probably.
So listen to this. This is what I think. If it's the most active people on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're already a part of the 1% of most active, number one, I feel like you already should have like enough dates to where you don't have to pay. If you're on that thing all day long,
constantly swiping,
you should be already on dates, not worried about it. But number two, then you add the $500 on top. And you're messaging everybody you see, and they're all seeing you. If you can't get off that app in like a day, you need to get out of there. Not worth the $500.
But if you do find your match with this $500, can you really put a price on that?
I think you could have found him anyway.
If this is what it takes to find,
I don't think
love.
This is going to be a bonus to you at all. It seems like you're going to be messaging people that aren't even attracted to you.
It does seem like like if you're messaging people that you haven't matched with already, it just feels like it's just another opportunity for them to reject you.
Yeah.
So this is an expensive price to pay to get rejected even more.
Because what happens when you buy this and then you still don't?
Yeah, that's just sad.
Then you don't even want that kind of rejection. Nobody wants that.
Here's the only positive.
Give it to me.
You get a little like badge on your profile, right, that shows that you're a Tinder Select. So people will
Red flag.
But people will see that you're rich.
I mean,
or bad with money.
or you're
Sad. And that will be their choice to make.
If I saw somebody was paying $500 for Tinder, that would be like a red flag for me.
Yeah, but you notoriously want a woman who's loaded.
I do.
So you might be more.
But I don't want a woman that's willing to pay $500 to match with me on Tinder. That sounds crazy.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
I got a question. What is one thing that people make their entire personality?
Good question.
Yeah.
Many answers here.
Oh, I think I got like 5 off the top of my dome that are people take one thing and it's everything for them. They're a one-dimensional person. Top thing, and I hope I'm not guilty of this, their sports team. Some people, it can be any team. It's particularly egregious when it's like one of the big famous ones.
Like the Red Sox?
Is that my whole personality?
No. Just
it's one thing if it's like the Charlotte Hornets. Actually, I don't know. Maybe that's more weird versus the Dallas Cowboys. But either way, it's like
you calling out Nene?
No, because he has like 3 things that are his whole personality.
That's messed up to say.
But no, I think some people are way more like you look at their socials and it's just all posts about one thing. They they literally have like the Steelers logo for their profile picture type thing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's nothing wrong with being a fan, but when that's the only thing about you is what we're asking about here. You got any that come to mind?
A lot of people make their job their whole personality.
Yeah, that's true. That one makes sense at least because it does encompass so much of your life.
I would rather it be a sports team than be your job. Yes. Nobody cares about your job. Nobody cares. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
You can be a doctor. You could be a radio show host. You could do finance. No one cares about your job.
There's definitely a certain sector of people too.
Like, I would rather you be like, if I'm into sports, so I would rather you be like, I'm a huge Yankees fan or whatever.
Yeah.
Because then at least we have something to talk about. If you're like, yeah, dude, I'm a financial advisor. I'm like, and where do we go from here, brother? Because I'm not a financial advisor. So in what world would I ever care about your job? I was going to
say, it seems to be a lot of salespeople that like to do that.
Yeah, I sell cars, man. Well, you know what, brother? I'm not looking for one.
I'm not in the market.
Oddly enough. I bet you did just sell a Mercedes, whatever today. That was probably sick for you at work. For me in my day-to-day life, I don't care.
That's a good answer. There's a million more we can get to. People are texting in. You can text in too. One thing, probably something annoying that people make their entire personality. 8772 Radio U, and we'll get back with some more here coming up next.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
The question is, what is one thing that people make the only thing when it comes to their personality? You know, because many people, ideally you want to be contain multitudes. You're a person with all kinds of stuff going on, different sides of you, but some people are really one-dimensional. At least in their public facing and especially on their social media. And so what are some things that people make their entire personality? Got a text in from Josh. Politics.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. And see, none of these things, or at least most of these things, there's not a problem with them on their face. Like, it's not wrong to be interested in politics. I'm very interested in politics. But I don't lead all my conversations with people don't start with, can you believe whatever is going on in Congress?
Can you believe the debate last night?
Yeah. You know what I saw on the news that this guy said? Yeah, whatever. Politics, it's fine to care about. It shouldn't be a whole personality. Trevor says Disney.
People do love Disney, man.
Yeah, they get huge into Disney. Is that a red flag? As a friend,
depends how you're doing it. It depends how you're doing it, you know?
What do you mean? Like if you have children or if you don't?
That would help, yeah.
Yeah.
If you have kids, that helps.
Ben says he knows quite a few people who make their car or truck their whole personality.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one to get past, you know?
And there's some people.
Talk about something that I don't care about. It's your vehicle.
Yeah. It's not just like there's aren't many people that have a Ford Focus and that's their whole personality. It's either they have a big, like some kind of big truck. A lot of Jeep people are like this. And I'm not saying that everybody that owns a Jeep, because Nikki has a Jeep, I have a Jeep. I don't think I ever talk about having a Jeep except for now, just for honesty's sake. But some people are super Jeep people. We talked about sports. Carl says we are sports 100%. We're guilty of it.
I never said I wasn't.
Yeah.
I would agree. I do like the Browns and the Buckeyes.
Uh-huh. Hopefully we're more fully formed people than that. What about Lex, who says weed?
That was one of mine.
Yeah,
that I had listed.
That's huge.
People love doing that. Like, you do whatever the heck you want over there. But people love making weed their whole personality. That's a wild one.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one too from Sarah. Fitness, specifically CrossFit.
Another one of the ones I had. CrossFit's crazy.
Yeah, CrossFit is.
Yet again, it's good to be fit and work out.
That, and
I don't have to see it, but
what about along those lines too? Like being vegan, being gluten-free, just having like any kind of dietary thing. There's just some things, it's just weird how people, like if you are one thing, and I'm not saying every vegan is about this, but there's some people that just feel like they can't, every time they open their mouth, somehow it escapes. And that is one of them. You got any more?
I have a list.
Oh, yeah.
One of the ones is people's tattoos. I'll tell you yet again, another thing people don't care about is your tattoos. Like people who like always have a plan for their tattoo, whatever the next one is.
You're right. You're right. I've encountered somebody like that for a little while, but there are some people that are like, yeah, I'm just thinking of getting another one.
Another tattoo.
Just thinking about my next tattoo.
Finishing my sleeve.
Yeah.
This one actually means this. This one means that. I'm like, your tattoos are for yourself. Yet again, that's the point you got.
And it's funny because
it's not
some
supposed
people
to mean something to me.
Some people with the tattoos are completely the opposite. They're like get annoyed if you ask about them. But then there's the other tattoo people that are just constantly like, oh, are you looking at this?
Did you notice that this? It's crazy. You're probably wondering. This actually means not wondering.
Yeah, this is for my grandmother.
I'm like, that's great for you. For me, maybe not so much. The other ones I had listed, their dog. I'm guilty of that, Jim. He's a great dog.
He's a big part of your personality.
And if it's not your dog, you know what it is? And this is a wild one. People, they do this. They don't know. They do it all the time. They'll talk about their kids nonstop. If you have kids, it is their kids, their whole personality, which makes sense because that's a big part of your life at that point. You're all about the kids. But if you don't have a dog, you have kids. One of those two is going to be one of the hot commodities.
Yeah, I think circling back to, it makes sense if your job or your kids, it's still like you're not particularly fun to be around.
Yet again, nobody wants to hear about it.
But it is like it's because that becomes your entire life. It makes sense. If that's all you have going on is your kids and you're taking them to soccer practice and whatever, then no wonder that's all you're going to talk about. If you are so working long hours and your job is just all you think about, it makes sense. But like some of these other things,
well, I think it makes sense if you go
choices.
home. If you go home every day and smoke weed, that's your whole life.
I guess it makes sense.
If you go home every day and work on your car all day,
constantly.
Go to the gym all day.
Yeah, I guess they do all make sense. If you are only thinking about which tattoo you're going to get next, they all make sense. But they, yet again, doesn't make you a fun person to talk to.
Nobody wants to hear about it.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
And this is actually a dating show that's been out for some time in the UK, but now you can stream it in all of its uncensored glory on Max. Have you ever heard of Naked Attraction?
I haven't heard of that one.
Oh, man. You're in for a treat. Naked Attraction is a dating show from the UK where the first thing you see about a person is literally their naked body.
That seems aggressive.
Yeah.
Seems a little aggressive.
It's a wild way to do things. I don't know how many Naked Attraction success stories there are, But picture this. If you are the, let's say put yourself in the bachelor's shoes and you've got four ladies perhaps lined up. The first interaction you have with them is they're all behind the like clouded glass. The, what is that? Fogged. What is it called? Smoked glass. And so they're all behind the, like the glass where you can't actually see. You can barely see kind of like some of the fuzzy behind it. And then simultaneously, all four of the curtains raise from the feet up. So, and then as those curtains are slowly raising, you have to eliminate 3 people and then choose one person based only off of their body as the curtain raises.
That's wild.
And then you have to get fully naked. And then you guys both put on your clothes and you go on an actual date. And this is a real dating show that they've done in the UK.
I don't really understand what, like...
I guess it's
the eye test. This is just the eye test.
I think it's just, full eye test, love at first sight, apparently, and maybe just the idea that your initial like gut check response to their naked body tells you a lot about somebody. I don't know. I don't really know the theory of the case here, but it's a dating show that's gone on in the UK, and now it is available to stream on Max, and it's uncensored. The people that get...
No, it's not.
Yeah, the people that get fully...
You're joking.
No, they are. I have a censored trailer, but the actual show, if you were to watch it on Max, not safe for work.
That's wild
well, unless
show.
you work somewhere wild.
That's a crazy show.
It is a crazy show. Can you believe that?
I can't believe it's not censored. They're just naked people on there.
Uh-huh. Well, Isaiah, people will get naked on camera if they get paid enough.
That is true.
Sometimes even if they don't get paid.
That is true.
So it's an insane idea for a dating show. I don't know how long it actually lasted, but I mean, I don't know if there's many naked attraction success stories.
There can't be.
You don't think anybody from the show has gone on to like happily ever after?
I seriously doubt it. Seriously doubt it. Yesterday I went on a Naked and Afraid binge watch.
Yeah.
Way better show.
You think so?
100%. It's completely different.
I think I figured out why. I think I understand the theory of naked attraction. It's the same as Naked Afraid. It's the vulnerability. You're letting somebody see you instantly at your most vulnerable.
So let me ask you this then, Hudson.
You've borne it all.
What happens when they don't pick you? And then you're like, well, they just saw me naked, and they didn't even choose me.
I wonder if it's like The Price is Right.
You went on this show.
You get to stick around for the next person.
Like you didn't get picked.
Yeah.
But you just exposed yourself to everyone on HBO.
Yeah.
That's
everybody in the entire...
Then you just drive home. How do you feel driving home that day? Dang.
Yeah. I don't know. I
better
guess
do some crunches when I get home.
Hopefully you got a good paycheck.
Better do some crunches.
Yeah.
No, I was watching Naked and Afraid yesterday. Now, that's a good show. Anybody can just stand in front of a camera naked.
Yeah.
Not everybody can survive in the Malaysia jungle naked.
No, that's another step. They should combine the two.
Yeah, trying to get through that together.
Uh-huh.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
So we've got Little Debbie. I didn't even know they were doing this. They've got a brand new cookies and cream brownie that we have here in the studio. And Isaiah, you felt the box of these. They only sell them in big packs. It has 12 brownies in it. How heavy did you think this box was? If you had to estimate?
It's pretty heavy.
I think it's like...
They're thick.
It's like 6 pounds of brownies.
These are about the weight of it. They're a cosmic brownie.
Yeah.
That's what this is here. So if you imagine a cosmic brownie, it's about the same as that. But these ones, so they have some frosting on top.
Yeah, they have kind of like the white frosting, like basically Oreo frosting, and then.
But they got that same. It's the same. I can already tell by looking. It is the same brownie,
just with a different topping,
as the cosmic brownie, with a little different topping on top.
Do you get down with the cosmic brownie?
I used to, not so much anymore.
I've never been a fan of the cosmic brownie. Even when I was a child, you'd think that'd be prime time for cosmic brownie. I didn't like it. But hopefully I have higher hopes for this. It smells good. Looks good.
Smells like a cosmic brownie.
Yeah. With a little Oreo.
Oreo flavor on
but
top.
But not specifically Oreo added on. Let's see if it's any good. It's so fudgy. It's like eating a chunk of not very good fudge.
Well, it's definitely the base of a cosmic brownie.
It tastes almost indistinguishable.
It is. I think if I close my eyes,
you'd be like, "Where's those little candies on the top?" They really visually it's different, taste wise, almost exactly the same.
This is exactly the same.
So if you,
I can't taste the cream on top at all.
what if you maybe you need to
It's
eat
completely covered in white.
Maybe eat it upside down.
True.
I'm trying.
No.
Still the same. Nothing changed. It's crazy.
This is actually unbelievable because there's so much white on top. There's so much cream on top for it not to taste like anything.
They really lead you to believe that this is going to taste different in some kind of way from the cosmic brownie.
It doesn't at all.
It's a cosmic brownie without the little candies. So if that's
stopping you.
Yeah, if that's what was stopping you from eating a cosmic brownie, then this is for you. Other than that, it tastes exactly the same, which means I don't care for it. I mean, it's not disgusting.
It's not bad.
But I mean, I guess I'll probably finish this at this point. I've eaten half of it, but I'm not giving it a rave review. This is like a 2.5 out of 5 stars.
2.5.
Yeah. Squarely in the middle of not something I would ever buy for myself, but I'm not going to spit it out. I'll finish it.
I would give it similar rating. Probably if you're a fan of cosmic brownies, you're going to like this.
Yeah.
Because it tastes exactly like a cosmic brownie. For me personally, I'm not a fan of cosmic brownies, so I want to rate this like a 2.7. Not terrible.
Yeah.
Doesn't give me anything more than a cosmic brownie would. I actually think I prefer a regular cosmic brownie.
You think so?
Just because I
like the little candies?
Not even that I like the candies, I just like the little crunch they give.
Actually, you know what? The cosmic brownie has, what I hate about it most is that it has that chocolate frosting, and this actually doesn't have that. So it is slightly different, but it just tastes, you're getting the same effect. So
that was wildly underwhelming.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a different flavor.
I thought it was going to taste like an Oreo brownie. If you ate this blind, you would have no idea.
You would not have a clue.
Not a single idea. Well, nice try, little Debbie.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Researchers in Turkey have found that blue light exposure, which comes from really any screen, phones, TVs, etc., computers, they found that blue light exposure is linked to early onset puberty. We could be turning kids into awkward teenagers sooner than is actually natural with our phones and TVs.
Now, I'm no doctor. Is that a bad thing or?
Probably, if it's not like how your body's naturally supposed to do it, right? See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what even to make of this. But I guess I do think that kids, right, you should let kids be kids for a while.
I don't think going through puberty makes you an adult.
No. But it's not a fun time.
But there could be, but listen, I don't know, yet again, I don't know how it works. But there could be benefits.
Okay.
One of them being, couldn't you be, now this is going to sound dumb if it's wrong.
Yeah.
Couldn't you be like taller? No, that works. Puberty? It's when you hit your growth spurt, right?
Possibly, but I don't think that hitting it earlier makes you more likely to get bigger.
I feel like it would, though. Isn't that the whole point of puberty? That's when your muscles start growing faster.
Maybe you would, I guess the whole thing is you would just reach what you were going to reach anyways, what you were likely to reach anyways, sooner. So you start turning into...
You get a mustache in like 5th grade instead of 7th.
Yeah. You think that's going to be a lot of fun in elementary school to start having hairy armpits and a mustache? Got to start teaching kids that are still wearing Paw Patrol shirts how to shave. That doesn't sound great to me. I don't know about delaying puberty. There's just a sweet spot. There's some age where like you should have puberty.
Stage 3, the growth spurt stage. One of the stages of puberty.
Yeah, but you don't get a longer growth spurt. It's just sooner.
So instead of if your height's going to be 6 foot anyway, just because you get to 5'10" at 12 instead of 15,
yeah,
doesn't mean you're going to be taller.
Yes,
but it does give you more time.
Sure, but think about this. This is why I think it's a negative. You're going to hit your physical prime earlier, and who wants that?
What are you talking about? You're going to hit your physical prime earlier.
If everything is happening earlier in life with your body because you hit puberty sooner, then that means you're going to be like in your physical prime when you're, like younger. And I think most people, once you get past your physical prime, you're like, man, I wish I could have kept that going a little longer. Because before you hit your prime, it's up. You're climbing the mountain, you're getting better and better. But then after you hit it, you're down. So you're going to hit your down slope earlier in life. All the children after us.
I feel like you can stay.
You think you can maintain?
You can maintain for sure. I think you're getting a longer prime, possibly.
So you think more phones, more TVs for kids?
I'm saying there's nothing we can do to stop it. I'll tell you that much.
We're not going to turn off the TV. Well, I mean, there's like blue light filters and stuff, right?
Yeah, the blue light glasses.
I don't know if that's going to work. It feels like there's
give your 7-year-old some blue light glasses. See how bad he wants to wear them. Yeah. But odd feeling he's not going to like them.
I guess the thing is, like, if it's for all kids, I don't know. There's just so many. We're not doctors. We're not scientists. We're not researchers. There's probably so many. If this is true, there's so many other effects that it would probably have on your body that we don't even realize, that we don't even comprehend. We're just discovering now that the blue light's making us have puberty earlier. Who knows how many other effects that has that the dots you wouldn't even realize to connect. So
I still think I would take it. I think if I go back to when I was like 9, if you would have told me like my freshman year of high school, because I hit puberty earlier, I would have been like 5'7" instead of 5'4". I would have taken that at that time. 100%. I know for a fact I would have.
Leah said Isaiah's vast knowledge of puberty and him trying to turn everyone into giants is giving me life.
Be a taller species. What do you want from me?
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at RadioU.com/donate.